Alright, so One Perfect Love, YouTube boys, they like 23, you already know, man, coming at y'all with another video. Gotta get this wisdom, gotta get this knowledge, and you gotta get this divine understanding. You already know, I'm in the presence of the divine Honeysuckle Moon, blessed love.
Blessed love, my brother.
Yes, so today's topic, we're going to build on what exactly is African wealth in America and how to achieve African wealth, or how to ascend higher ranks of wealth and financial stability. Whoa, that just opened up a big can of beans right there. So like, yo, there's so many places to swim in that, you know. So what is your thoughts on just African wealth in general and how to build African wealth? Like, what's your thoughts on it?
So I would say first and foremost, establishing a system of building for self, and that's personally why I honor the Rastafarian culture, because there are teachings there that truly help me to know the beauty of doing for self and the strength for that. And when you have a community of people who move in that way, you can begin the establishment of circulating that black dollar and just really ushering in the foundation of African wealth.
True.
The next thing that I would say is real estate acquisition. Buy some land.
Truly.
All right, don't buy $500,000 worth of house sitting on a quarter of an acre of land,
right.
And now your neighbors this close to the left and to the right of you, and you can't grow your food, which goes in the opposite direction.
Right,
of
exactly.
true African wealth, because the truest African wealth, as we both know, is positive African health.
Truly. And matter of fact, even you just speaking on that, I'm actually writing my second book right now, and I just finished my latest chapters, a restoration of African generational healing. And pretty much like it just goes into how you was just saying how we should really buy land, we should purchase land, and just knowing that you're able to purchase land, that's how you're able to send that down from generation to generation to generation. Now, say for instance, if you get a job and you get a wage, you can't necessarily pass that on to your children and your children's children. But when you have an entrepreneurship, that's when you're able to pass it on from generation to generation. Like your children can come and work for you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got it, set up like that. You know?
Absolutely, and that's really the way to do it, because it shouldn't be when that child becomes a working age that now you automatically start introducing them to the way that the economic flow is for the household. My daughter is 17, and she had a situation to where, her being a teenager, she wanted to go and see what getting a job was like. And, the very same way for me. When I was 15, I started working, okay? I've been working, getting the check. I've been knowing the beauty of that since I was 15, and I'm 40 now. And I recognize thank you.
Bless it.
Yes, and so she went to this bakery establishment, told them her passions and everything, and they looked at her resume, 2017, this year, and it said that she was, working with Honeysuckle Moon since 2007. And so
that's
they started
experience
counting.
right there.
They started counting. It's like, wait a minute. Wait, so that's 10 years. And you mean to tell me you've been working with this company in this capacity since you were age 7?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah. And they were like, what? And she was like, yeah. And so from early on, I taught that young lady to know that as much as it is, this is my business, this is her business
as well.
And so we consult one another. If some things come up in business that I'm weighing, she's going to have her input on it. She gets a chance to actually share her wisdom, and then we make the decision. So that way it's nothing new to her by the time she reaches 25.
Right.
She's been making these sorts of professional decisions since she was a youth.
Right. Exactly. I totally agree.
Absolutely.
And and I feel like it is wise as well to just view family as just like, okay, well, this is like a business. You see what I'm saying? Like you have all these allies under one roof. And it's just like we need to, as a people, we need to come together and really realize that, just like your family, your close-knit community. I'm talking about the ones that think like you, also the ones that maybe you're trying to spiritually awaken, that that wants to come into consciousness. Exactly. So it's just spreading out the fishnet wide, right? And just not limiting ourselves. And entrepreneurship is definitely one of the best ways to build African wealth in America.
Truly.
So that could be, cut one. Yes, so agriculture. When we speak of African wealth, what's your thoughts? Like, how does agriculture fit into African wealth? What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that
Yeah.
is he who controls the food has the power.
Just
right?
like that.
And so,
Let 'em know.
with that cited, if you're not making the conscious effort to at least start growing your own food, you know, start getting into the soil, start having just an in-depth, first-hand, tangible experience as to what growing your food feels like, is nothing that you'll be able to pass on generationally. So you have to be able to work the earth to even inspire them enough to do so.
You was just picking peaches over here today.
Yeah, so I was picking peaches over at a Redeemed Fruit Orchard today. Absolutely. And you know, the thing is, the sister who controls the property, her whole concern was that we didn't get over there fast enough.
Where was y'all at?
Like, we should have been there last month. We should have been dealing with these trees. We could have had 3 yieldings, but next year, next year we will know the victory. However, today we do have a front end victory. We got some good vegan peach cobbler that's showing up here.
Just like
and
that.
So yeah, right now they're stewing in the cinnamon and in the nice vegan butter, and so we're taking that thing to the next level. And so yeah, we have to be able to invoke that energy, because one of my recent just moments of consciousness within the garden, I was in my backyard garden, and so now I'm up to 2. So I'm controlling my backyard garden, and then I've installed the pollinator garden over at the fruit orchard. And so what I realized is, when we give the necessary energy to the earth, to Mother Nature, to regarding all of the life, the plants, the insects, when it is our turn to be return to the source, return to the earth, because that's something that none of us are exempt of. We will return someday. Wouldn't we want the earth and all of its creatures to be as kind to us in that season? And so that means we have to do our work right now.
Y'all listening?
Are
y'all listening right now?
It's the truth. And so, that's all part of the beauty that comes with being in the earth, that comes with getting that good sun, vitamin D jump, and you get your messages when you take your time and you spend it in nature, and that within itself is an aspect of wealth. It's the tangible yielding, that you're going to get your harvest, you're going to get your cucumbers, you're going to get your greens, your tomatoes. But what spiritual messages are you getting when you're doing the work? Now that right there is the true essence of growing. And so it's you're getting tangible things, but you should also be getting spiritual things.
Because it's in a sense where, so the food that grows on the earth is all connected with the solar system. So with the sun, the moon, so as soon as you out there and you say, if I harvested a cucumber in my backyard, the information in that cucumber would be perfect for the location that I'm living at.
There you go.
In this earth.
Perfect for you.
Exactly, for me,
Perfect for you.
Right. Because that specific information is needed to exist within this specific environment that I'm habitating at this moment. But say if I was to go to Costa Rica, now there's different foods that naturally go in Costa Rica than say Texas. You know what I'm saying? They have totally different foods because there's totally different atmospheres, and so it's even me right now, we got okra, squash, corn, beans, pumpkin, watermelon.
Where you at? I want to come over there. I want to beat the rabbits to it. Where you at?
They are nibbling on that thing though. Real talk though. We had an eggplant come up. I'm yo, the little nibble marks I have to, cover it up. But yeah, we're actually growing on the east side of Atlanta.
Okay,
you know
beautiful.
What I'm saying? Yeah, more than
over in
welcome.
Lithonia?
It's actually right before Stone Mountain.
Okay, very
right
nice.
Before Stone Mountain.
All right, invite me over. I would love to check the vibes for sure.
Okay, for sure. So we got wheatgrass, everything growing out there. So it's time to definitely harvest that as well.
Call me. I do my fancy lady work, but I also have to do my earth work. That's part of my therapy.
Sure. So yes, family. So we're actually gonna go ahead and go into this next topic, spoken on how to build African wealth. What is African wealth in America, right? Now, what are some of the misconceptions of African wealth to what the people that might be higher up, I guess, on the totem pole, how they push financial stability or gives us a false sense of what it is to be financially stable, you know? So what's your thoughts on that? Like the first thought that comes to my mind is like just like the different music and stuff like that, where it's just money, money this, money, money that, you know, et cetera, this, you know. But I guess like maybe 90s kind of rap and different things like that. There are some rappers that do speak on a conscious tip, but that's just maybe the first thing that comes to mind, like the Future. What's your thoughts on misconceptions of African wealth in our community in America?
So the one thing that I always notice, just like on a day-to-day, we're in the store, shopping, getting our groceries, you know, getting our basic necessities. And I see these women, and they've got on, you know, regular gear like ourselves, but their purse, their purse costs like $500. And
Gucci, Versace.
Yeah, you know, the Michael Kors, they've got all of these European designers that they will be willing to invest that much money in. And I don't know, not so sure, because I don't go count nobody else's money. But they lead me to believe that the value of that purse could actually compete with the value of their bank account balance, right? And so you can't be walking around with all of the gold, all of the designer handbags, all of the designer shoes. The other thing that kind of gets me are, you know, like the little hoverboards or whatever.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
like, you know,
that was hot. That was
my
hot.
goodness.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
A lot of people was about that, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're just gonna be wheeled around like you go too hard to walk, huh? You can't walk today. No, you're just gonna hover.
Right.
A real nice slow pace. But are we truly getting anywhere? And so we invest all of these money in things that are truly not of necessity to us. And so I feel like, you know, we're looking to compete with whatever the next artist says is hot, you know, like whatever the new trend is. We make a point, you know, to have to do that. Like I have never owned a Michael Kors handbag. I don't go to Macy's looking for particular labels. I go to Macy's because I do go to Macy's sometimes, right? And so if I do go to Macy's, it's going to be more so about me looking for a particular style of garment, and I know that at that point is more so a situation of supply and demand, so they may have exactly what it is that I need. However, the majority of the clothes that I opt to buy are going to be through different black designers and manufacturers. I love a lot of African clothing, and I feel most confident, I feel at my best when I'm wearing clothing that truly is reflective of us.
Exactly. Like I totally agree with that, because like first and foremost, like if it's something that I need to go out and buy, it's my first mind, okay, do I know anybody in my community, in my circle that's African owned that has this? Because I feel like, you know, like Chinese people and Indian people that be running the gas station, Chinese people do the nail salons, etc. It's like, you know, maybe like every once in a blue moon, it's very, very rare to little to nothing do you see them come forward into African owned businesses, black owned businesses.
Totally.
But it's like us that's told, you know what I'm saying, just like, you know, supporting them and just, you know, just putting food on their table. So
we don't even realize how much we're supporting them. We're thinking that they're actually providing us the service, and so it's part of that whole trick game for them to remain in power by us giving them more dollars that could have been circulated within our community. But we put their children through school. We create new business extensions for them, as opposed to counting and trusting enough in one another to say, I want to go and support this business.
Yes. So has there been anyone, I guess, like, you know, recently that you feel like is a contributor to pushing like Euro capitalism, that's speaking at our people at a pretty large volume, you know, speaking to the masses of, you know, Black America, African America? Are there any artists that comes to mind that you think is kind of detrimental to our progression?
Well, you know, we live in cut on the radio. And when I listen to, you know, some of the different hip hop stations out here, you know, it's being like just programmed and just fed in. Like it's so many different artists, you know, who give us the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. So like we get a little bit of everything nowadays. But I will say, what has more or less caused me the most internal rattling has been this Jay-Z 444 album.
This is a big topic. Big topic.
All right?
Yeah.
And when you got Mama Moon talking about Jay-Z, when I'm having to like talk from my dimension to talk about Jay-Z, he might be doing a little bit too much. He might be.
Real talk.
Yeah, so I've definitely had the opportunity to look at the promotional video. Like, okay, you done went so crazy in this world of capitalism to where now you put yourself in that position of Sambo, that position of Dumbo. Like there are all these things that I saw within this promotional video for Jay-Z that spoke to some of the most hurtful visualizations that I have seen of African people here in the Americas. And so I'm very much so challenged by, you know, the visualizations of the Sambo,
seeing like
the
slave ship scene.
Yeah, that slave ship scene like just really kind of tore me up right there because I think that it's one thing to actually see the inside of it, and you know there are all of these Africans on there who are in chains. They've got the bubble eyes, the bubble lips. You know, things are just feeling in a way of ridicule. But right before they even showed the inside of the slave ship, they showed that boat with the cross on it going through the ocean. And we all know that the ocean is the original example of currency. It's the current. And so it's showing that flow of the original trade here in the West, which unfortunately was African people. And so when he goes out of the slave ship quarters into
that was the original Wall Street.
Yeah, that was the original Wall Street. And so he walks right through the aisles, and then he goes onto the deck with all of these sailors who don't have the bubble eyes, the bubble lips, or the dark skin to make us believe that, okay, yeah, these are white people, these are Caucasians, and they all salute each other like, yo, we're on the same team, like we got this thing intact. So is Jay-Z in essence recognizing that he's making money off of us by feeding us the illusion that he's giving us the tools or the blueprint, so to speak? Especially when you've got artists who've been talking about living righteously, you know, acquiring land, you know, taking care of your family. These are things we can go, you know, artist after artist and talk about their contributions, whether you're talking about Nas, whether you're talking about Lauryn Hill, whether you're talking about David Banner, and you know, Kendrick Lamar has even given his contribution in a way to where it's like, okay, brothers dropping jewels. And so I don't want people to get so far away and so energetically invested in this 444 album and all of the illusions that are coming with it to where we actually believe that that's what African wealth looks and feels like.
So yes, family, we give thanks definitely for y'all watching. A lot of jewels, many jewels will drop. Comment below, you know, just let us know just what's your meditation on what has been said in this video. You know, like the video. If you like it, just go ahead and like it for us, you know, so more people can see this and so that more people can reason with us in the comment section. So I'm here with the beautiful Miss Honeysuckle Moon. You know, you can follow her at Instagram.
Yes, Honeysuckle Moon.
Alright, I'm gonna put it on the screen right there. You know, you can follow me on Instagram at WiseLocks. Alright, family. So let us know what y'all think, you know. So one perfect love all the time, every time. Unite, unite, unite.
Blessed love. The
Blessed
lion
love.
wears the
Perfect
crown.
love. Heart of love. Righteousness,
Yes.
truth. Yes,
know yourself and love yourself.
Blessed love.